Coming to you from that once-forgotten artery that pulses through the center of the continental United States and into the heart of the Ozarks, Grace Matthews. Looking in from the northern border, our Canadian friend, along with his countrymen feeling the effects of U.S. political issues, Connor Murphy.
Welcome to Dueling Dialogues, episode 236. I'm Connor Murphy, here with Grace Matthews in Springfield, Missouri. How you doing, Grace?
I'm doing very well. How about you?
Good. Winter is upon us.
Oh, it sure as heck is. Yeah.
Yes. Baby, it's cold outside.
Oh, baby, it's cold outside, and that's where all the problems started.
You figure?
Do you realize that? Yeah. I mean, what an awesome, sexy, romantic song. And about 5 years ago, a couple of folk singers decided it was, chauvinistic, sexist, all those words,
Oh, the cancel culture. Yes.
The cancel culture. So they decided to re-record it with new words. And, now you don't go out and buy your albums, right? And listen to your music or your collection. I mean, I still have albums and nothing to play it on anymore. But, I want to listen to the old Baby It's Cold Outside, old Dean Martin,
Right.
Well, I have streaming service, right? 5 years ago.
Yeah.
But my streaming service decided I didn't need to listen to that anymore.
Oh, nice. You got to love it when people make decisions for you like that.
Absolutely. Now, needless to say, I have a new streaming service that has not censored me from Baby It's Cold Outside. I mean, now for Christmas, instead of Christmas decorations, I have all these Baby It's Cold Outside things. I got pillows, I got stuff hanging on the door, because that's not right.
Right, exactly.
First of all, the song was romantic. It was sexy. He wasn't making her stay there for a drink. She just couldn't pull herself away from him.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay? So, Thomas Jefferson warned us. Do not give away a little bit of liberty when things get rough or, you're feeling like kind of blue.
Right. Because
when you give a little bit away, they're going to take a lot later.
Yeah, and you never get it back.
Exactly. So Baby It's Cold Outside was the music streaming service, but now Baby It's Cold Outside is the precedence for Twitter, Facebook, Google, etc., Tumblr.
Right.
Dig. Censorship has run amok.
Right, and it's one kind of censorship. It's left censorship.
Yeah, absolutely. And they decide on my Twitter feed, and believe me, I'm an adult, I'm old, and I can really decide what I can see and what I can't see, except Jack Dorsey and Twitter has decided I can't. And I hate to tell you that, but I'm going to be 58 here in about 10 days, and I'm offended by that.
Mm-hmm.
I am incredibly offended by that.
Yeah, what happened to freedom?
I don't know. Our show.
Yeah.
Now, we try to be thoughtful. We are, sure, I'm a conservative, but we have spoken out against the Republicans and conservatives plenty of times.
Yeah, and we've paid the price.
Yeah. We are paying a remarkable price. We have lost our advertising. Every night on YouTube, we get censored. They censor between 1 and 6 shows a night. When we put our Dueling Dialogues proper show on Twitter, they only, like 5 people might see it, if that.
Right. Visibility's turned right off.
Exactly. And I was told, as far as our ads go, that we could not be lump summed with other shows on the podcast platforms. So
Wow.
yeah, well, and
So after
at
4
a time
years,
when we're being so we have been gaining a lot of popularity, and we're still doing great, and please still listen to us. Um, but it's kind of like we hit a place where we might have been getting too much. I mean, heck, we started pulling LA.
yeah. Well, 4 years we worked to get where we are, and then just boom, it's over.
Yeah.
So who really suffers? Definitely the ones on the right. Any of the conservative people out there that are like us, that want to get their voice out there, they're the ones being punished by the left, by the cancel culture.
Exactly.
I mean, we might as well just shoot from the hip now, because for sure this is going to be censored.
Oh, yeah. And I hope that our vast audience in India can still hear us and listen to us, because they have become an integral part of our listening audience. So I'm hoping we continue there.
Right.
As well, of course, as in the United States. I want to say, too, that our show is being promoted on Parler. Parler does not censor.
Oh.
I understand that there's some very radical people on there. They were on Twitter too. So, just pick and choose. Somebody says something you don't like, unfollow them.
Right. Exactly. You don't have to cancel them.
We certainly won't want to fraternize with white supremacists. We don't want to do that either.
Right. And we don't.
Yeah, but I do want to say that I found out, I kept trying to find out for years, well, at least a couple, who the money behind Parler was. And I will tell you, it's the Mercer family, particularly Rebecca Mercer. She has been always the money behind Steve Bannon and Breitbart's. So Rebecca Mercer is the money behind Parler. I did find that out today. So it's probably here to stay, because they got a lot of money. And of course, Dan Bongino has part ownership. I'm pretty sure that Rebecca Mercer probably gave him a piece of the action to promote it. It does look as if he has separated from Fox News, which we'll talk a little bit more about Fox News later. But we want to tell you that we are being censored, but we're going to keep coming to you, keep listening, and hang in there.
Yeah, we are. I think it's important that we have a voice. Whether that voice is right or wrong is not the point. The point is having a voice.
Exactly. And especially during COVID, when we're losing a lot of our civil liberties, let's don't let that happen. I heard where Justin Trudeau said, yeah, COVID's a good time to reset.
Yeah.
What?
Here it comes. I was waiting for that to happen. Absolutely waiting for that.
Yeah, so. I mean, it's like the fact that everybody can admit to this publicly, right there tells you we have reached a new level of
stupidity
and socialistic behavior.
Yeah. And who's leading the stupid? Trudeau. Woo!
Yeah. This week, yes.
Oh.
But, what about the election?
Yeah. I mean, Canada wants to know who won. And it's kind of confusing what's going on there.
Does anyone know?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, we got dead voters.
Yeah, we
got people 130 years old voting, and we have no record of anyone alive 130 years old. So I want to know where they're hiding, and how they can live under the grid that much.
I want to know whether they're actually zombies or not, though. It's here, the zombie apocalypse. They got out of the graves to vote.
It feels a little bit like that, doesn't it?
You know, there's even been stories in Canada that certain Canadians have found that they had voted in the U.S. election somehow. Someone used their name.
It wouldn't surprise me. But
Yeah.
I think the craziest thing of all, which I don't know whether it should be crazy, but is this Dominion software. Now, I'm going to give you just a little bit of a rundown about what I know about it. Dominion software was created during the Bush administration for the CIA. And for the CIA to, electronically through software, they could go sell or install this software in countries where we supposedly help them do their elections. Well, guess how we help them? By hacking them. Okay, because by God, if we help them, our payday is whoever we want to be elected to be in office.
Wait, it's not Russia or China?
Oh, hell no. It's the American CIA.
There
which
you go.
Surely we all knew, but we just didn't talk about it. Okay, well, now it's time to talk about it. Because, whatever you have that you use against somebody will later be used against you. For example, if you create a weapon to, shoot China with, China will eventually reverse that technology and shoot you with your own thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so this is what we have here. So, the CIA uses this to influence, and I don't know what darn elections particularly they influenced. I'm pretty sure Iraq was one. Okay, so fast forward. Okay, and President Obama is elected. Okay, so he takes his first term of office. He takes office on the 21st of January, like all presidents do, right? By February 3rd, he has turned Dominion over to this, secret new arm of the government, which the operation goes by Hammer and Scorecard. Okay?
Yeah.
Just to tell you. So Hammer and Scorecard are using Dominion software, but in the United States of America. They know they can sell it to certain Democratic
states, yeah.
Governors, states, municipalities, mayors. They got some people that will buy whatever they got to sell. Okay?
Especially if they're promised to win the election.
Okay, but they need to take it a little bit public, right? So they turn over Dominion software to somebody, and you've got all these Democrats that own part of it. Like Nancy Pelosi's husband, like Dianne Feinstein's husband, and the list goes on and on, possibly Soros.
Okay,
now,
that's a serious...
Nancy Pelosi's husband supposedly owned it on election day, but after election day, suddenly her chief of staff owned it.
Oh, boy.
Not her husband.
Now, how is that not a conflict of interest?
Okay, well, if you want to talk about conflicts of interest, Dianne Feinstein's husband yesterday, she's the senator from California, I might add, a Democratic senator, of course. He gets a $2.8 billion deal from the government to build some sort of government housing. Now, I'm saying billion with a B, not the M word.
Okay.
How's that not a conflict of interest?
Oh, boy. Yeah, good question.
That the Clinton Foundation was even in this. And then you got the word that has just came out that the cancer fund that Biden started after Bo died in 2015 that was supposed to be for cancer research. Well, a lot of people have been giving money, just throwing money because everybody hates cancer. And, even if we don't like Joe Biden, we don't want his kids dying of cancer.
Right.
And guess how much money has went to research?
How much?
Not one damn dime.
No, surprising, eh? Well, those administration fees are pretty high. Wow. Wow.
So where's the ballots? I mean, we have ballots in Pennsylvania being turned in after the fact. Okay?
Right.
Now, that's never happened in the United States. You're supposed to have your ballot. Whatever ballots are there the day of election, that's what gets counted. We had all these polling places shut down. One place goes, oh, the water main's broken. We got to quit counting ballots. So they send all the reporters home, all the watchers home, and suddenly thousands and thousands of Joe Biden votes show up. I mean, and in these thousands, not one idiot voted for Trump.
Right. You'd think they would have slipped a few in there, but no.
And then all these people voted for president but didn't vote for Senate or Congress or anything else down the ballot.
Oh.
Now, how often does that happen?
Yeah, that's kind of fishy right there too.
But then let me throw in a little twist to all this. So yesterday, you have Rudy, who does look like he's very sober. Okay, I know a lot of people says Rudy looks like he's been Giuliani, looks like he's been drinking a lot. Well, let me tell you, he's been stone cold sober since the election. I've seen him on TV. He's not been drinking, like when he used to get on with Judge Janine on Saturday nights, okay?
Yeah.
I saw that, so he looks good. So the judge says, Rudy, even if I see that there's been voter fraud, right?
Right.
What can I do about it? This is a judge asking him this. And Rudy just repeats the stuff, Here we have all these ballots that are bad and blah, blah, blah. And the judge goes, to fix this problem, I have to invalidate like 10,000 people over here that didn't do anything wrong. I'm not going to do that.
Wow.
So you've got to go, and let me tell you, this is something that if you follow the most cynical guy ever, and he hates Trump, but he's a conservative, Mark Pantano on Twitter. He is probably one of the best constitutional lawyers in the country. Okay, I realize he's got an attitude, but he warned this would be the problem. He was like saying, you idiots, of course they did this. But what judge is going to invalidate everybody else to fix the fraud? And he's exactly right.
Yeah. No, you got to cut the head off the snake. And the only people that can do that is the FBI. And where are they right now?
Yeah, where's the FBI?
What about Ukraine? Nobody's even talking about Ukraine anymore. Nobody's talking about China anymore.
And Biden is wanted to testify in the Ukraine.
Oh.
That came out. He's a wanted man over there.
Wow.
So, and I really don't know why. So, but then you've got all of that going on, okay?
Okay.
Then you've got this voter ratio problem. Okay, you've got more people voting than are registered. You've got more voters voting than actually live in certain little counties and places. I mean, how do you do that?
Wow. We knew this was going to happen.
We did know this was going to happen.
Yeah, the mail-in ballots was the big the big one. It just made voter fraud very easy. Super
exactly.
Easy. Just give me a printer.
Can I just give a couple of this? In Wisconsin, we have 11,275 extra votes. In Virginia, we have 85,487 extra votes.
Wow.
Vermont, 12,313. North Carolina, 227,496 extra votes. New Hampshire, 31,452 extra votes. Minnesota, 149,929 votes. These are more than we have people. In Massachusetts, 52,677 more votes. Idaho, 98,002 extra votes. Now, those numbers are before we even had all the counts in. Okay?
Yeah.
So, like, for example, my page had not disappeared on me. I apologize for that. Just give me one or two little slides here. Okay, so for example, the 85,487 in Virginia, only 87% of the voters of the precincts had reported, and they're already 85,000 over.
Right. So it makes you wonder what the big actual tally is. We're talking millions.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
what person? It doesn't matter who won. I mean, it matters, but okay. So if Biden really won, why wouldn't we want to restore faith in the system?
Yeah,
because the system is really more important than the person.
Well, they own the system.
Exactly. And I tell you what, it's like there's nothing, then there's missing ballots. There are people that said they were standing in front of the computers, right? Casting their vote, right?
Right.
And they vote for Trump and they see it switch over to Biden. I'd probably just lay down and have a seizure or something. And I'm not making fun of that because I have a kid that does. I just probably would. I would just be like, this cannot be America.
Yeah.
This is my America, and my America is not like this. That's a banana republic.
Yeah, this, there has to be some prosecutions in this for sure. And I'd be very nervous to be associated with Dominion at this point.
Oh my gosh.
I still have faith in justice that some of the people are going to have some secrets come out and pay dearly if they haven't been suicided first.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, I'd like to know where Attorney General Barr is. I don't see him. I really don't. And that is disturbing. Right. I will also tell you that Pfizer and Moderna, despite getting money like crazy for vaccine research and anything they wanted, Trump made sure happen. Right. So that they could come up with a vaccine. He gave millions of dollars for the research, and they held out until Monday after, Fox and others called the election for Biden to say, yeah, we got it ready. We need a little cold storage. That was Pfizer, and we got it ready. Moderna, at least theirs is about at 95%, and they don't need cold storage. So, which was the one we had talked about on here,
right?
Being the company that was going to have the top vaccine, the most viable vaccine, and that did end up being true. So, but they played politics by holding that information until after the election.
Right.
This election has changed everything in the United States. Fox News called Arizona prematurely.
Right.
And Fox News believes that they are in the business of calling elections, and they don't know that they're supposed to just report them.
Yeah.
They say that Biden won. Biden has not won the presidency until elections are certified. Elections will be certified between about the 8th of December and the 14th in all states. And until they're certified, no one is really a president-elect. No. Sometimes it's so vast that we go, okay, well, he won. But the fact is, we should not do that. And I wonder if we'll ever do it again.
Yeah, I really am puzzled. So are most people in the world, how this could have gotten so bad. You guys basically need a do-over. in the election world, a do-over.
And the trouble is, I think it's like we said with the judges. What judge is going to say that?
Yeah.
I mean, definitely not an elected judge. It would have to be an appointed judge.
Right.
Because an elected judge would be like, oh, no, I will never get reelected.
Well, I know here in Canada, numbers were really different. It was a much closer race. They did have Biden ahead, but a much closer numbers than what Google was reporting. Google had like this huge lead where he was only a couple seats short of the majority. So what happened to all that?
Well, which is crazy because apparently the military, the Pentagon, is tapped into, the different precincts across the country, okay?
Right.
And they had Trump at 410 electorals, which would have been a complete and utter landslide, and
Whoa.
Biden at 128. And so somewhere after everybody went to bed, this thing got all messed up. And between Dominion and ballots appearing out of nowhere and dead people starting to vote in the middle of the night, it just went nuts. Now, keep that in mind, 410 electorals for Trump.
Right.
Now, we know other countries spy on us and are hooked into things. Apparently the Germans were hooked into our election. They went and they had 407 electorals for Trump, which would have been very similar to what the military had, minus Alaska, which runs the lake.
Right.
I mean, they start walking in the snow with their ballots anyway.
Yeah, that's some.
I mean, they're also time behind us, but they're very slow, and they have about 3 electorals. So when you think about that, you start going, how could they be that off? I mean, how when the Pentagon knows who won in Iran before the Iranians knew it?
Yeah, the discrepancy, the numbers are outstanding.
Yeah, Fox News says they have the right to call it. Well, it's costing their viewers. They have absolutely tanked. I don't think there's ever been a walk away from a news outlet or any other, media that I have ever known about like this.
Yeah, the crossover was pretty quick and immediate. It was like a takeover.
Absolutely immediate. They, on election night, had more than 14 million viewers. By the Saturday night after election, they didn't get what CNN did. And we know that CNN sometimes doesn't even get 1 million viewers.
Right.
Okay? Yesterday, I believe it was, the morning show rated less than Morning Joe.
Wow.
Who sometimes have less than 500,000 viewers.
Huh.
People have walked away from Fox News. They have gone to Newsmax. Newsmax is adding programming all day long. One America has also picked up a lot, but everybody loves the CEO Rudd at Newsmax, and they're going crazy. They've added a morning show. It's going to run from 6 to 8 Central U.S. time, starting Monday.
Interesting.
They picked up another one of Fox News, Heather Childers, who was fired during the pandemic because she sneezed on camera. And they said she had coronavirus and she's never had it. Well, today, Newsmax picked her up to do an afternoon show.
Wow.
So they are going to become Fox. They're going to out-Fox Fox.
Unbelievable.
And hallelujah, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. And what an empire to destruct.
I agree there.
And we don't always agree, about life's a journey and we're all in it together. So Godspeed, keep safe out there, and thanks for listening. Please keep listening to us. Despite our ad being revoked from us for censorship, we're going to keep on trucking, keep on talking.
All right. Godspeed, Grace, and everyone, thanks for listening.